కంటిన్యూ అనుకుంటుందా ఇక్కడేమో వస్తుంది.
Yeah, you can just say continue. That's acknowledgement.
Ah.
So all of you can see the slide now?
Yes.
Yeah. So the shloka is Ajas Sarveshwara Siddhas Siddhis Sarvadirachyutah Vrusha Kapira Meyatma Sarva Yoga Vinisritaha. Once more I will recite. Ajas Sarveshwara Siddhas Siddhis Sarvadirachyutah Vrusha Kapira Meyatma Sarva Yoga Vinisritaha. We will see the different names that are there in this particular shloka. Ajaha, Sarveshwaraha, Siddhaha, Siddhihi, Sarvadihi, Achyutaha, Vrusha-kapihi, Ameyatma, Sarva-yoga Vinisritaha. So we have totally 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 names in this particular shloka. The first word is Ajaha. The word Ajaha means na jayate iti Ajaha. Na jayate, not born. The one who never takes birth. Meaning, since he is always present, there is no need for him to take birth at any point of time. He is the unborn. Without having taken birth, also he is always in existence. But for each one of us, if we have to become manifest, we have to take birth. But the Lord is ever present. Therefore, his name is Ajaha. Na jataha, na janishyate. He was not born, nor will he take birth in the future. He was not born, and yet he is always in existence. He is eternally existent. Things take birth from him, but he himself has always been present. Now, this particular shloka also from Mahabharatam, Shankaracharya quotes, Nahi jataha, na jaye aham, na janishye kadachana, kshetrajnaha sarvabhutanam, tasmad aham ajaha smrutaha. Nahi jataha, I was never born. Na jaye aham, currently also I don't take birth. Na janishye kadachana, in the future also there is no requirement for me to take birth. Kshetrajnaha, now this word kshetrajnaha, if all of us recollect, it comes in the 15th chapter, or is it in the 13th chapter? 13th chapter. It comes in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Kshetra refers to Shariram. Jnaha refers to the knower. So Kshetrajnaha refers to the one who is aware of the Shariram, which refers to the Atma within. He is the Kshetrajnaha of Sarva Bhutana. Therefore, Tasmat Aham Ajaha Smrutaha. Now, these are the words of Bhagavan Krishna himself in Mahabharata, where he explains as to why is it that one of the names that has been given to me, that I am remembered by this name called Ajaha. The reason is there is no concept of birth for me at all, and I am eternally present as the indweller of every entity in the universe. Therefore, I am known as Ajaha. In this context, I thought we can go through 11 shlokas from Bhagavad Gita, and that is in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now, let me open this particular website. Can you all see has the Bhagavad Gita shloka opened?
Yes.
So this is the first shloka of the 4th chapter. And what is... Okay, I cannot annotate on this. One second. No. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manuhu ikshvakave abravit. what I'll do is I'll add the English translation by Swami Vivekananda and remove the Sanskrit translation of Shankaracharya. So you can see it side by side. I think all of you can see it side by side. Yeah. So here Bhagavan Krishna is telling that this yoga, imam yogam, this knowledge of yoga, I had, which is avyayam, which will never undergo any kind of decay, which will never undergo any kind of destruction. I had revealed this particular yoga to Vivaswan. Now, Vivaswan is considered to be the first Raja, the first king, the first ruler of mankind. Vivaswan then in turn shared this particular knowledge to Manu. Then Manu in turn shared it with Ikshvaku. Now, Ikshvaku is one of the forefathers of Rama. That's why Rama's clan is called Ikshvaku Kulam. Okay, we'll go to the next shloka. Yeah. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayah viduhu saha kalena iha mahata yogaha nashtaha parantapa. Parantapa is one of the words that Krishna uses to address Arjuna. Para here refers to enemy. Tapa refers to one who causes fire, meaning Parantapa is one who can burn down all his foes. This particular knowledge of yoga, through Parampara, it came down from Vivaswan to Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku, and so on. But over the passage of time, it got lost, meaning got diluted. Sometimes it was not handed down properly, or even though it was handed down properly, the next generation did not pay sufficient attention to it. And therefore, over a period of time, this knowledge got diluted and disappeared. The third shloka. That same Saha eva ayam maya te adya yogaha proktaha puratanaha bhaktaha asime sakha cha iti rahasyam hi etat uttamam. And then Krishna says that very same yoga is what I have now disclosed to you. Remember, this is the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which means the 2nd chapter actually contains the essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, but the same thing is clarified again and again in various ways in the subsequent chapters. So that is what Krishna is saying, that ancient wisdom which I first taught to the very first ruler of mankind, Vivaswan, that is what I have now reminded to you, because you are my devotee, and therefore I have been willingly sharing this most sacred of all knowledge, that secret knowledge, to you. Now we are in the 4th shloka. Now here Arjuna is getting a doubt. Arjuna vacha. What is the doubt? Param bhavatah janma, param janma vivasvatah. Arjuna tells Krishna, you were born at a much later date. He is referring to the physical Krishna who is present with Arjuna on the battlefield, on the Kurukshetra war field. And he's saying, you were born on a much later date, and Vivaswan, Vivasvatah Janma, his Vivaswan, his birth happened to eons ago. Then how is it that you seem to have taught this to him? That is what Arjuna questions. How is it possible that you were born much later and Vivaswan was one of the earliest of the people to have taken birth? Then katham etad vijaniyam tvam adau proktavaniti. How can I know that it was you who taught him? It is very confusing because you both belong to different time periods. So this is a simple doubt that Arjuna puts forth to Krishna. This comes to the 5th shloka. Now, listening to the doubt of Arjuna, now Krishna answers. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava cha Arjuna, tani aham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. Many births, bahuni janmani vyatitani, have passed. Many births have passed of both mine and yours, O Arjuna. I know all of them, but you do not know your previous births. But I remember every single time that I have taken birth as a human being. Here we have to refer to as taken birth as a human being. But the eternal form of the Lord did not have to take birth. It has always been present. Here again, see, Krishna very clearly says Ajaha. The very first word of the 6th shloka is Ajaha. Although I am unborn, Ajaha api avyayatma, and I am indestructible and imperishable. However, prakritim swam adhisthaya, but taking help of the Maya, and this Maya is whose creation? My own creation. I sambhavami atma mayaya, ajaha api san avyayatma, bhutanam ishvaropi san, prakritim swam adhisthaya, sambhavami atma mayaya. Although I am unborn and I am of imperishable nature, yet being the master of all the beings, taking help of my own Maya, I take birth. So the immediate next question is, how often do I take birth and why do I take birth? That gets answered in our very next shloka, which is a very famous shloka. How often do I take birth and when do I take birth? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata. Whenever there is a decline in dharma, righteous conduct, righteous living, abhyutthanam adharmasya, and whenever there is an increase in adharma, it is on that occasion that I manifest myself in the form of a human being in most occasions. But the Lord has also taken forms other than that of the human being, like we can see the case of Kurma avatar, Matsya avatar, Narasimha avatar. So he says, although I am unborn, but through Maya, I manifest myself. So here I want to recall a small conversation that Swami had with Dr. John Hislop. Now, John Hislop was a very famous Sai devotee, and Swami had blessed him with countless number of interviews. Fortunately, he recorded them diligently, and therefore it is now available for all of us in the form of books. So this is from the book My Baba and I, which records all the conversations that he had with Swami. So Swami tells him that, see, this entire Jagat, Jagan Mithya Brahma Satyam, this entire world is illusion. It doesn't exist. Only Brahma is Satyam. What does it mean by this doesn't exist? Now, when we are sleeping, we get dreams. And during the dream, we experience the dream as if it is real. But the moment we wake up from sleep, we realize, Abba, thank God it was a dream. We tell ourselves. Like last night, I got a dream where I was driving the red color polo car of our house. And it was on a long flyover stretch. And somehow I rammed into a bus. I thought, gone. What will happen at home? What will people say? What all insurance processes we have to follow through? I was so upset. Suddenly I woke up. I don't know what woke me up, but I woke up. And then I was glad that it was just a dream. So just as it seems so real during the dream, but we will recognize that it to be a dream only when we wake up. Swami says, so also this so-called state of being awake, which we are all awake, is also a dream. While Night time, when we sleep and get a dream, it is called night dream. Daytime, which we think is real, is actually daydream. And Swami says we have to wake up also from the daydream. When we wake up from the daydream, then we'll realize that it never existed at all. It was just a figment of our imagination. So then Professor Dr. John Hislop asks Swami, Swami, you have also taken birth just like Rama and Krishna. Does it mean that you are also an illusion? Or are you real? And Swami says, no, I am also an illusion. Then Hislop doesn't understand. So then why have you taken this avatar and descended into this illusion? Swami says, I have entered your daydream to wake you up. To wake you up, I have entered your daydream to wake you up from this daydream, illusion of daydream, so that you will wake up to the reality which we will eventually realize. So when the Lord takes avatar also, it is into this mithya prapancha. Why? To wake us up from this avidya nidra. So he also takes a illusionary form. So once Sundar Iyer, again a student who had got an opportunity to be present very close to Swami and serve Swami, once Swami asked him, what do you want? And then Sundar Iyer, this as a young boy, then says, I want you. And then Swami asks, do you want this 5 feet 4 inches Sai Baba, or do you want Swami? This Sai Baba is not permanent. This Sai Baba will go one day. Whom do you want? That's all. The conversation ended. So the avatar is also prone to birth and death. But we should hold on to the original form of the Supreme, from which he takes birth and descends onto earth as with various forms and names. Moving on to the 8th shloka. So having taken birth, what role does
Manoj, ప్రీవియస్ లో భారత్ అంటుంది, అంటే మన కంట్రీలో అవతారం వచ్చిండేది ఏంటన్నా?
కాదు, భారత.
భారత్ అంటే ఏం అర్థము?
Bharata is another word that mute. Bharata is another word that Krishna uses to address Arjuna.
Seri.
Mute ma, you are not supposed to unmute in today's class. So Bharata refers to Arjuna here. Hey Bharata. Bharata is another word that Krishna uses to address Arjuna. Going to the 8th shloka. Okay, the Lord takes a form. And what is the task that he sets for himself when he takes the form? He does many things, but what is the core purpose for which he takes birth? Paritranaya sadhunam. Those who are following the right path, he intends to protect them. Vinashaya cha dushkrutam. Those who are not following the right path, he decides to teach them a lesson. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. And to re-establish and re-strengthen dharma, to give more importance to dharma and to increase people's faith in dharma. For that purpose, yuge yuge. Now we have to understand that the word yuga here does not always refer to Kali Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Satya Yuga. The word yuga is also used in a very general sense, saying that from time to time. It can be every 3 years also. It can be every 1,000 years also. It is not that the Lord has came in Dwapara as Krishna and therefore he never took birth again. If we closely see, during the time of Krishna, there was also Vyasa. Now Vyasa is also an avatar of the Supreme Personality, but an Amsha Avatara. But Krishna is a Purna Avatara. So the Lord will manifest with his entire attributes sometimes as Purna Avatara, or with partial attributes sometimes as Amsha Avatara. and he can do it simultaneously. He can do it multiple times. It is all left to him. He has to make rules for himself. But here in Bhagavad Gita, he is telling about his own self, the supreme self. And then here in the 9th shloka, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma na eti mam eti saha Arjuna. O Arjuna, remember that my birth, Janma, is divine. What is the meaning of divine birth? That means the Lord decides to take birth. All of our births, mine, yours, our parents, our children, our cousins, is because we have to face the consequences of our Purva Janma, either of Punyam or Papam, we have to take. And we are born out of the Kama, desire. That is Nimitta Matram, yes, desire between our parents, male and female. But the Lord's birth does not take place because of the coming together of the male component and the female component. It is the divine descendants. Similarly, the karma that the Lord does, the Lord, once he comes, he also performs karma like all of us. He speaks, he acts, he thinks, he says, he does work. Like Rama fought a battle with Ravana. Krishna killed many asuras, but those will have zero consequences because it is fully divine actions. Whereas our actions are selfish actions. 99% of our actions we do is to protect ourselves. We eat so that we don't have to face rogam or to enjoy. We read, we learn. It's all for swartha. Whereas the actions of the Lord, Krishna, Rama, Swami are only for loka kalyanam. He has zero interest in his own self-preservation. Those who know that the Lord's birth and action are divine, they alone truly know the nature of the Lord, and for them, they will know the Lord truly. And once the Lord leaves the body, when Krishna left his body, when Rama leaves his body, when Swami leaves his body, there is no rebirth for them. And those who know this secret also will reach the eternal state of Krishna. This is the 9th shloka. 10th. So how is it that we can reach that state of never having to be reborn again? Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. 3 qualities. Raga, attachment. Bhaya, fear. Krodha, anger. We have to get rid of attachment, fear, and anger. Attachment will bind us to expectations. Bhaya is a sense of insecurity. That means we do not recognize the omnipresence of Swami, omnipresence of Bhagavan. Therefore, we get scared, because you can only get scared. You get scared of meeting somebody, you get scared of doing something. So one of the first things that Swami would teach is, why fear when I am here? We have to even let go of any form of fear. And the third is Krodha, because Krodha will again activate Kama and it will make us do wrong deeds. And we have to constantly be thinking of the Paramatma. Maam upashritaha bahavaha jnana tapasa putaha agataha. So having let go of these evil qualities and having thought of me always and having understood the true essence of their nature, there are many who, though have taken birth in this samsara, were able to liberate themselves. Ye yatha maam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajami aham mama vartma anuvartante manushyaha partha sarvashaha. There is only one Supreme Lord. Whoever worships that Supreme Lord in whichever way, the Lord will respond to him in that same way. There are people who worship the Lord as Divine Mother. Navaratri is that occasion. the Lord also will treat them as his children. There are ones who worship him as the supreme guru, embodiment of knowledge. The Lord will also respond to them as if we are all his shishyas. So whichever bhava you use, whichever path you take, whichever temple, religion you pursue, the Lord is not judgmental about it. You can approach me in whichever way you want, and I will respond to you in the same way. Ultimately, all paths will lead to me alone. Okay, we will stop here. I wanted to cover. So, though he is Aja, unborn, yeah, but he does take birth from time to time, and that is what we have to understand. Next word in Ajas Sarveshwaraha Siddha is Sarveshwaraha. Sarvesham Ishwaranam Ishwarah. Sarveshwaraha. Eshah Sarveshwaraha iti Shrutehe. Sakshat in the Vedas, there is a mention that the Parabrahma is Sarveshwaraha. Therefore, he gets a name Sarveshwaraha. Now, there could be many lords. There is, for example, in a country, we can say that at the state level, there is a chief minister. Above the chief minister, there is a prime minister. There are in some forms of government, above the prime minister, there is a president who is even more powerful. Like that, there could be many who are governing this universe with various roles, devas and devatas. But the Lord is the commander of all of them, Sarveshwaraha. The next word is Siddhaha. Here Shankaracharya uses the meaning Nitya Nishpanna Rupatvat Siddhaha. Now, I will draw something, okay? I am drawing a pot. This is the Sanskrit terminology. I want you to appreciate this word called Siddhaha. Now, let's say on the wheel, the pot is still getting made. This is a completed pot. Completed. But here, let's say it is still getting made in the potter's wheel. So this is called Siddha, which means it is complete. This is called Sadhya. Sadhyaha Ghataha, which means it is still getting made. Getting made. It is not complete. Whereas completely formed Ghata is called Siddhaha Ghataha. Now the word Siddhaha is being used for the Lord to indicate that he is forever complete. Let us take a look at ourselves. We are born as small children. We can do certain things, we can't do certain things. As we grow, we can now walk, maybe not talk. As we grow further, we can both walk and talk, but maybe not read and write. As we grow further, now we can read, write, talk, walk. So there is constant development is happening for us. That means we are for a very long state, sadhya state only. There is growth happening. There is no such thing as the Lord needs to achieve something. The Lord needs to develop further capabilities. The Lord needs to blossom further. No. The Supreme is always a Siddhaha. Nitya, always. Nishpanna, Nishpanna, created, formed. Rupa, form, complete. So he is always in his completeness state. There is nothing like now I'm in mood, now I'm not in mood, now I have the skill, if I don't practice I will forget the skill. Nothing like that. He is forever full and complete with all his capability. Therefore the Lord is called as Siddhaha. Even though he is always complete, yet when he takes an avatar like Rama, Krishna, he does certain acts. So here, why does he do those acts? Is it because he needs to gain something? Or For what reason does he do? See, we go to school because we need to gain what we don't have. We don't have knowledge, we go to school, we gain education. We don't have money, we go to a workplace, we work to earn money. We don't have a certain skill, we go to a trainer, we attend those training sessions and we gain those skills. Let's say we don't have a house to live, so we use our resources, contact people, get a house built, and we gain it. But here Krishna says, He Partha Name Kartavyam Trishu Lokeshu Kinchana. There is nothing that I need to do in these three worlds. There is no duty. I don't have any duty whatsoever. This split is like this. Na anavaptam avaptavyam. Na, not. Anavaptam, not gained. Not possessed, to be gained. There is nothing which I don't have that needs to be obtained by me. I don't have to strive for anything because I am everything. Even then, I do actions. Karmani varte evacha. Even then, I do not sit quietly, right? I perform the actions with a sense of having to perform the actions. It is not to gain something. Why did Rama have to speak to the people? Why did Krishna have to spend so much time with the Gopikas? Did he want to gain Gopikas' love? No, there is nothing at all for him to gain. He is always complete by himself. Why did Swami have to give darshan daily, morning and evening at 6 a.m. and 4 p.m.? Did he need to gather devotees? No. Without them also, he would have been perfectly fine. He did it because it has to be done, because he's trying to show an example and he's doing for the benefit of the world, benefit of his welfare of Loka Kalyanam, of the creation that he has created. The fourth word is Siddhihi. Siddhihi. Sarvavastushu Samvit Rupatvat. Sorry, there is a small typo here. Rupatvat. It has to read like this. Rupatvat. Sarva Vastushu Samvit Rupatvat Siddhihi. Niratishaya Rupatvat Siddhihi. These are the two definitions that Shankaracharya has given us for the word Siddhihi. Sarva Vastushu. In every object, in every created object. Samvit, complete knowledge. Oh, sorry. Complete knowledge. Therefore, it is called Siddhihi. So I was reading, I think it was 72nd birthday of Mata Amrutanandamayi, which happened a couple of days back. And I was reading in the newspaper, and there it was mentioned that in many occasions, there are many schools, hospitals, and other projects that have been done by Mata Amrutanandamayi Trust. And in many occasions, when Mata Amrutanandamayi, who is referred to as Amma, visits these locations, she would give certain inputs to the engineers and architects, even on structural matters, which they would have overlooked. But Mata Amrutanandamayi is not known to have attended any architecture course or engineering course. So this is the power of divinity, that complete knowledge about everything, about anyone and everyone. So this is a Siddhi. The avatar also possesses this omniscience, knowing everything. There are yogis. For example, if we read the autobiography of a yogi, the book that has been authored by Paramahamsa Yogananda, he talks of so many kinds of sages, rishis, or sadhakas or yogis who perform different types of yoga and gain specific siddhi. Some yogis gain the siddhi of being able to manifest something, create some object. Some yogis gain the siddhi of being able to read other people's mind. Some people gain the siddhi of escaping from their current body and using another body for some other purpose. Those are gained siddhis. As it is used, those siddhis will get depleted. Again, you have to do yoga to gain that. Just like, if you don't continuously go to the gym, your muscles will not stay. If you stop going to gym, over a period of time, again, your muscles will become lean. Again, if you go to the gym and start using the weights, the muscles will again gain their strength and become stiff. Similarly, with yoga and tapas, you will gain some siddhis. And as you put them to use, they will deplete. But in the case of Paramatma, there is no increase and depletion. He is the very source of these siddhis. He doesn't have to acquire the siddhis. He is the one who gives these siddhis to those who are doing yoga, because he is beyond anything beyond anything and everything. Therefore, even the word siddhi, here another way for us to simply understand in a much simple way is, let's say, talent is a word that we commonly hear. That girl has a talent to sing. This boy has a talent to speak. That boy has a talent to swim. That girl has a talent in computers and coding. So one Swami came to students and asked, what is talent? What is talent? So students replied, talent is gift of God. Talent is gift of God. But Swami clarified, talent is not gift of God. Talent is God. Talent is God. Talent is God. So if you see, Siddhi is one of the names. Siddhi is what? Talent. Siddhi is the word that we directly use to address Paramatma. That Siddhi is nothing but one way in which God is present in us. So that spark, that Siddhi, the talent is also a form of divinity in each one of us. So it is not gift of God, but talent is God. And that is where Swami says, therefore you should use talent for welfare of humanity. And you should not use it for selfish purpose. That is putting talent to right use. Siddhi, talent, is an expression of God. Then the next word is Sarvadihi. Sarvadihi, easy name. Most of us will understand. Sorry, again here a typo mistake. Sarvabhutanam. Sarvabhutanam adikaranatvat. He is the beginning of all the beings. Therefore, he is Sarvadihi. Starting point of everything is the Supreme Paramatma himself. Therefore, he is called Sarva Adihi, Sarvadihi. Here I want to recollect one particular shloka that Kalidasa writes in a Mahakavyam called Kumara Sambhavam. Now, Kumara Sambhavam, Kumaraha, here it refers to Kartikeyaha. His birth, Sambhavam. It is a large Mahakavyam. In the second Sarga, see the way in which Kalidasa describes the Supreme Self. Jagadyonihi ayonihitvam, jagadantaha nirantakaha, jagadadihi anadistvam, jagadishaha nirishvaraha. Jagataha yonihi. The word yonihi refers to karanam, starting point, cause. You are the cause for this entire universe, but you yourself, you are causeless. There is no cause for your existence. Jagataha antaha. You are the end of this entire creation, but nirantakaha. But you yourself, you are endless. Jagataha adihi. You are the beginning for this entire creation, but you yourself, you are beginningless. Jagataha Ishaha. You are the Lord of this entire creation, but you yourself are lordless. Means there is nobody to rule over you. So you are causeless. Ayonihi. You are endless. Nirantakaha. You are beginningless. Anadihi. You are lordless. Meaning there is nobody to lord over you. You are the supreme. Nirishvaraha. Whereas the world has its origin in you. The world has its end in you. The world has its beginning in you. The world is governed by you. Beautiful in giving this contrasts to describe the nature of the Paramatma. You are the beginning of everything. Then this word is Achyutaha. Now this word Achyutaha is a very, very beautiful word. I don't know, maybe personally I like how it sounds and what it means as well. Swarupa samarthyat nachyutaha nachyavate nachyavishyate. From his nature, Swarupa samarthyat nachyutaha, he has never slid down from his supreme nature. He will never slide down, and he will never slide down even in the future, neither in the past, present, or future. He is always eternal in his composition. He is eternal. He is supreme auspiciousness. The word chutihi means to slide, to slip away. Achyuta means never to slip away. Now here we can understand it in two perspectives. One, that by himself he will never deviate from his path. See, it is possible that the sun also may deviate from its path. It's possible, imagination, that the sun might forget to rise one day, but the Lord will never deviate from his promise of bhakta rakshana, dharma samsthapana. Whatever word that the Lord has given. See, we realize that Jambavan had a desire that he wanted to wrestle with Rama, and that wish gets fulfilled in the subsequent avatar when he comes back as Krishna, because Krishna and Jambavan fight endlessly for days together in a cave. Whatever word that the Lord has given, he will fulfill it, come what may. It will take some time. That is not in our hand. Achyutaha. Let us read this one particular discourse sequence to say that once he has given a word, the Lord. Now here I don't want you to think of it as only Swami. You can keep any Lord's name or form in your mind, be it Rama, Krishna, Narasimha, Narayana, Vishnu, Kartikeya, Ganesha. It is this supreme entity's nature. So this is a discourse that Swami had given September 29th, 1998. There is an audio also. We will not be reading the full discourse, but yeah, I'm going to read from here. You should understand my ideal. It is important that we understand the nature of God. See, so many times we treat God, Supreme God, as if they're like some other Devas and Devatas. Devas and Devatas exist to get pleased and to shower upon us our desires. But the Supreme Lord is much beyond any specific portfolio representative Devas and Devatas. So I will read. Human life has become artificial. There is no trace of love in man's thoughts and his relationship with others. Even the relationship between mother and son has become artificial. Nowadays, one finds a son talking to his mother. One finds only artificial exchange of words, but not true love. Students are leading an artificial life without sense control. Even animals have some sense control to some extent, but not the modern students. This is due to the progress in modern education. I do not say that education should not progress. I myself have established a university. I only say that along with education, students should imbibe good character. Can you call mere bookish knowledge as education? Can you call all those who can read and write as educated? Can you call all those who have degrees to their names educated? If education were to be only for living, that is for employment, do you not find birds and beasts living? Education is for life and not for earning a living. You should study to know the purpose of life. You should not be content with bookish knowledge and superficial knowledge. You should have practical knowledge, inquire within. You should understand my ideal. Once I say that you are mine, I will never forsake you. Achyutaha. You may forget me, but I will never forget you. You may develop hatred towards me, but I do not have any hatred towards you. In this world, I have no enemies and I have no dislike towards anybody. I always uphold my promise. I always go forward to protect, never to retreat. But some may question that even after Swami accepts them as his, why do they have problems? Why should they suffer? This is not my mistake. I always keep up my promise. They suffer because they forget their promise to Swami and lose their sacredness. I never go back on my word. I never make anyone suffer. Till the last moment, I will be with you, in you, below you, above you, and around you. Many are not making an effort to understand this truth. They do not inquire into the reason for their suffering. The change in their heart is the main cause. Their wavering mind and their ingratitude are responsible for this. The previous speaker, Ravi, has said, God is nearer than your mother. Though I shower much more love than their own mothers, some people do not show their gratitude. I do not look for your gratitude, but when I do my duty, you also have to discharge your duty from your level. Some people blame God for their suffering, ignoring their own defects. They argue saying God does not keep up his word. God will never go back on his promise. But man does not understand this truth. Being drowned in physical and worldly feelings, he blames God for his sufferings. God will never make anyone suffer at any point in time, but each has to face the consequence of his action. Every action has got a reaction, but it may take place immediately, or in a few hours, or in a few days, or in a few months, or in a few years, or in a few births. For example, when your finger is cut with a blade, it starts bleeding immediately. When you fall from a staircase, you will suffer a fracture. In both cases, the reaction are instant. The food that you eat takes a minimum of 2 hours to get digested. For a seed to grow into a tree and yield fruits, it may take a few years. Good or bad, you cannot escape the consequences of your action. Then you may question why one should pray to God. One should pray to God not for the alleviation of suffering, but for peace of mind. Once you have peace of mind, all your problems will vanish. You can even escape the consequences of your actions if you have God's grace. After the expiry date, the medicine loses its potency. Similarly, once you acquire God's grace, the consequences of your action will have no effect on you. Swami would say that the consequence of the action has to be faced. But imagine undergoing an operation with anesthesia and without anesthesia. With anesthesia, we cannot even be aware that our body is getting cut. Similarly, with God's grace, we might be going through the karma, but we will not be affected by it. In order to make the consequences of your action to expire, prayer is essential. You have to pray wholeheartedly. Your heart is the seat of God. So think of God who is installed in you. Swami will tell again and again that there is only one form of God and that God is within you. Swami never came to preach that Hinduism is better than Christianity, Christianity is better than Islam, or Islam is better than Zoroastrianism. No, God is inside you, pray to that God. You cannot expect happiness in the outside world. Bliss is not in the material world, it is within you. So when you search within, you will find bliss. Embodiments of love. Never blame God for your difficulties. Come what may, pray to him. That is your duty. So long as you have the feeling that you are separate from God, you have to pray. Once you realize that you are one with him, you need not pray. Your breathing process teaches you a lesson. When you inhale, you make the sound so, and when you exhale, you make the sound hum. This process goes on for 21,600 times a day. So refers to divinity, hum refers to ego, which means you have to take God into you and drive out the ahankara ego. This is an important principle of life. We breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Divinity is like the oxygen which supports our life, and ego is like carbon dioxide, which is very bad quality. It has to be driven out. In your daily life, knowingly or unknowingly, you are committing mistakes. You are only keeping the physical body clean, but you're not making any effort to know how to purify your mind and speech. You're treating bad as good and good as bad. All service rendered for the welfare of society is good. You are a member of society. So your welfare depends upon the welfare of society. The country will prosper if the society is good. Individual prayer, family prayer, and community prayer. All three are very essential. This last line I would like to repeat. Individual prayer refers to individual sadhana. That is, each one of us, we might get up at our time, pray in our own individual capacity. That is called individual's prayer. The second is family prayer, which is significantly absent in most families. If that family does not come together and pray together, that means there is difficulty for the family to agree on things. There is difficulty for the family to share their devotion together for God. This is also important. And the last is community prayer. See, community prayer is a great strength of unity. And that is why there are some community festivals which have been introduced for all of us, like Ganesh Chaturthi. It is a community level festival. Of course, now it has become that each home we keep a Ganesha and we pray. But Ganesh Chaturthi is meant as a community coming together. That's why in every small area, one Ganesha. But of course, changes in times, we are not taking part in our community level Ganesha Habba. Similarly, the samitis that Swami has set up is a community level. Otherwise, forever we will be conditioned by the identity of me and my family. So all three Swami says are essential for to expand the consciousness and to feel connected to the society. So in those houses where family level prayer is happening, very good. They should progress to community level. Those houses where individual prayer is happening, they should progress to family level prayer. Those houses where only some individuals are praying and others are not, all individuals in the house have to be inspired to do individual prayer. Each one of us, in whichever step where we have to take one step further. Swami says that all three are essential to bring about welfare of the society. See, in some religion, if you see, like Islam, community prayer is very strong. That in good or bad ways, that their community level unity is a strong deterrent to do anything against them. Same is seen even in Christianity. That is community level prayer, but that is absent, and that is one of the weaknesses of the Hindu community, which many others are taking advantage in India, because at community level we fail to become united. That is why there are many people who try to divide us, because the community engagement is not there in that much measure. At max, what community level events we attend? Somebody's marriage, somebody's birthday party. Those are the community level events which we occur. But nowhere we are coming together as a community to do some activity or to do deeds surrounding devotion. That is one big area. That's why Swami introduced the Samiti concept, that people in that neighborhood can come together, do Narayan Seva, do Bhajan, do Nagar Sankirtan, etc. So, just as a summary, the word Achyuta here refers to that Swami has never ever deviated from his promise. He never deviates. It is we who misunderstand and we suffer our consequences, and we then ask for answers from Swami. But anyway, the Lord has given his promise that even if we forget, he will pull us back. And he is already doing this in various ways to ensure that we are on his path. I will stop here. I think I had asked for Jyoti Akka to do this particular poem. Maybe in the next class, Jyoti Akka, I would take your help to do this Telugu poem, and that is for the word after Vrusha Kapihi. It is for Ameyatma. So I'll pause here. I will stop the recording first, and in case we need to do any... Yeah.